People always want to see more of the Jeepers Creepers truck. Well, today you get your wish. We're going to do a little project on this truck. It is a nice rainy day here in California's Central Valley, and we are going to put this rainy day to some good use. There's a project that I've been wanting to do to this truck ever since the filming of Jeepers 3, and today's the day. I'm going to have you guys come along with me and help, so come on, let's go have fun with BEATNGU. Let's take a look at what we're going to be doing today. So, right in here, right there is our header panel. This is the header panel that was used in the making of Jeepers Creepers 3 and was in this truck. Now these little switches right here, these control the top marker lights, so I can switch them off individually and make the truck look a little bit more dilapidated. This is my chain for my horn, which is not yet working. And up here you see a backup camera that has fallen off. The mount wore out, but it was mounted right up in here. So we are going to take this out today. Now one might ask, why are we taking out a screen-used header panel from this truck? Well, there's a very good reason for that. Let me go show you why we're taking this panel out. This is the header panel that's going in. Now take a look at this header panel. This thing has probably 95% of the cast and crew signatures of those that were present during the making of Jeepers 3. So there's some pretty prominent actors and actresses that are in here. We've got the Creeper, we've got Gina, there's Tubbs. Anyway, this is a really cool panel. Now I've gone ahead and drilled some of the holes we're going to need. This is the area where the switch panel goes to control the top cab lights. And I've kind of gone around this signature the best I could. Over here is our horn pole, the hole for that, and it just lined up perfect around this set of signatures, so I got lucky. Over here, you'll notice that some of the signatures actually go under the footprint of this wiper cover. So because this area has signatures and I can no longer really mount the backup camera here, I think this is going to be the new home for the backup camera monitor. And I'll just run without a panel over this, and that way we won't be covering any signatures. So let's go get a panel out and let's put a panel in. Okay, I bet you we can get this header panel off in less than 90 seconds, maybe less than 60. Let's see what happens. Now, in defense of that happening, this truck went together in 2012 to 2015, and so there shouldn't be any screws that are hard to get out. So let's get this thing out, and then we have a little bit of work to do behind it, okay? But I know we can get this done together, so ready, set, go. We are going to put this right down here for safekeeping. I'm going to put these wire ties up here so I can get to connections behind it. Okay, pause, gotta get wire cutters. it's off. So now I'm gonna have to put this switch cluster into the other header panel, and I will have to do a little cleanup on some wiring up here. Some of these have gotten warm over time, and so we're gonna fix some stuff. Anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do next. We're gonna get this switch out of here now, and it shouldn't take too long to do. Okay, there's the switch all out. These ends all look good, and so let's see how good I did on getting the holes lined up right. You always want to get all of the little nuts, screws through, and then nuts started before you tighten everything down. I ran one up fairly close, just so it wouldn't be flopping around. My style of doing things. The switches are now in place, and so now it's time to go over to the truck. I'm gonna work on a little bit of the wiring up in that header area. The truck did have to sit out for a couple of summers, and I think the shrink wrap tubing just shrank a little bit too much and it cracked in some areas. So we're gonna attend to that before we put this in. By the way, if you think that you might be interested in an original piece from the Jeepers Creepers truck, this thing won't be cheap, but it is going to be on the market. I think we're going to go ahead and put it up for sale, and it's a really, really cool piece. All right, let's get to some wiring. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. These are still nice and tight. So I think we're ready to install a header panel. Let's go get that header panel and put it in. Well, let's see how easily I can tie strap this up into place. I don't know how easy and fast this will be on camera, but let's find out. Okay, I don't know how much of that I'm showing on camera, but it is tie strapped into place. This gives me time to make my electrical connections, which will be cool, and get the wires out of the way. Make sure I don't pinch anything. So that's what I'm doing. Now let's see how many of these holes are going to line up, because you'd be surprised how different each cab is. It is very strange how different each cab and header are. These are actually pretty close. I've seen some that are way off. It's almost like they drilled each one individually rather than having a machine drilled or something. But anyway, these are going okay. Easy one down. All right, let's get this one over here. See what we need to do. I am going to tap that first though. I just remembered I have to make my holes in the new panel for the mirror. I neglected to do that while it was off. So I'm going to make a little template here based off of the horn hole. And then I will put it on the new panel and drill. So I'm going to line this hole up here, try and get it nice and straight. Sorry if I'm in your way there. Looks acceptable. Oh, I had it. I lost it. There. Now, good old-fashioned Sharpie, which everybody should have. If I'm not too shaky to do this. Too much caffeine. There we are. Now I got to drill them just a little smaller than the screw size that I have. We'll put our mirror on. In the meantime, let's see what I need to do our horn pole. I'm going to pull this guy out of here. I flattened out one of the chain links here, and so I don't know if you guys can see, but that's basically what I'm doing there. I'm going to go back up through this screw hole here. Okay, that's good enough on that. Then we have our little clasp hook here. There. Working horn pole. So now we are just down to drilling those holes for the mirror and putting that on. So let's do that. So here are the screws and one drilling machine, which would be me and the drill. So let's get this guy, hook him over here for a minute. I'm gonna drill these out. There we are. No punching required. You just have to be a good shot and have good drill balance, is what I will call it. We now have a working horn pole. We have our rear view mirror and the switches are in place. Everything seems to work and it's in nice and tight. It's really cool that this panel is in this truck now. The story with this panel is while we were filming Jeepers 3, I was on the set every day and I would carry this panel around with me and just have the actors and actresses and crew sign it. And so I was able to get most of them on there. And it's really cool to have it in here. I think it adds a little bit of authenticity and credibility to the truck, even though there's no question that this is one of the original Jeepers Creepers trucks. And I also think it adds a little bit more value to the truck. It's just cool to have this pedigree in here. So we're gonna call it a day. Thank you for coming along for the ride. We really appreciate all of you guys being here. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. There's going to be more Creeper Truck stuff coming up. We have to still work on the rear end of this truck at this point. We tried to do a burnout with the truck and we blew up the rear end, so we're going to take it apart and we'll show you guys that process as well. When it's healthy, we're going to take it out and we're going to go through some drive-thrus, take it around town, meet some people, and so that'll be a lot of fun too. And there's always stuff to do on this truck and projects. Another upcoming project on this truck is the cannon in the back at some point here is going to become remote control and mechanized, and so that's another thing I want to do. Anyway, for now, signing out. Thank you guys. See you next time.